I would text her and she would call me and be like, okay, what's happening? What's up? And she would give me advice. And
this is what you
this
do.
is what you do. and
Marvin does it too. Marvin's like,
all the time. Eva, what do I do? Here's what you're gonna do.
Let me tell you what you're gonna do.
Hola. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
So first of all, I love saying the name of the movie, Alexander y un viaje terrible, horrible, malo, muy malo, and I love that it feels really supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like I just love it. Well, first of all, congratulations on the movie, guys. I'm going to start with Marvin asking you what inspired to take the books and turn them into a second movie, because we already had, the first one with an extremely, well success.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. Lisa Henson and Dan Levine, 21 Labs, and the Henson Company they had been developing the script and working on it for a while, and then they sent it to me when they were looking for a director. And I had just finished my show Gentified, and I was trying to figure out what am I going to do next. I want to make a movie. And I read the script, and I just fell in love with it because it was just this Latino family, like at the center of it, of a fun comedy with action set pieces, and on a road trip. I grew up going on a lot of road trips. I moved across state lines a lot growing up, and so I have a lot of memories of like going on road trips with my family and like wanting to kill each other. And I just love that, and I just thought it was so much fun, and I was like, wow, this is like such an incredible opportunity. And like I loved the book as a kid. The book was so special to me because as a kid that grew up with a bit of anxiety and and just nervous about it, I was a little Alexander, and the book just always resonated with me because it was one of the few things that made it that was for kids, that told you it's okay to have a bad day, they're normal. And so that was really special to me, and I wanted to carry that message through into this movie. And so that's what brought me into it.
Mm-hmm. I love it. And well, Eva y Paulina, I know that you knew each other from, 5 years ago. You directed Paulina in another show. So what it was like for you to reconnect in this occasion and being, mother and daughter?
Oh my God. Well, I was so excited. Paulina is one of the best actors of this new generation that we have in Hollywood. Not Latina actors, just actors. And so to be able to direct her 5 years ago, I saw it then. I was like, oh my God, this kid is going to have a really bright future, right? And she's like the kindest human being. Plus
You're gonna make me cry.
We're both Texans, so that we also share that. We're both Texicans. We're both Mexican Texans. So I was just so excited to now act with her because directing is like you feel a little removed because you're like I want to go have fun. Like we had fun yesterday acting together, and so to be able to play together. But I remember I was testing with Jesse, and Paulina was coming out, and we were like. And then, just to see us three together, we're like, "Yep, this makes sense." Yeah. It just made complete sense as a family.
And Eva's obviously been one of my mentors, and we loosely kept in contact within the 5 years. And every time I had a question about a situation, I would text her, and she would call me and be like, "Okay, what's happening? What's up?" And she would give me advice. And
this is what you do.
This is what you do. and
Marvin does it too. Marvin's like,
all the time. Eva, what do I do? Here's what you're gonna do.
Let me tell you what you're gonna do.
And it's great. Acting alongside her is a dream, and it was just so much fun. We were laughing all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great when you can see that on screen. And, I wanted to talk about the shooting, per se, because how to make this feel like, a real family road trip, because it feels like that. And I'm sure it has to do with the connection you guys share. But I wanted to ask about you, Marvin, and then you guys as actors, how do you make this process and try to make it happen?
Make us a family. It kind of
happens. Yeah. The first thing we did once we cast everybody, I was like, we started some rehearsals, and I was like, and I try to do this usually on most of my projects, but I was like, you guys got to go bowling together. Mm-hmm. I was like, I want you guys to show up. I was like, on the first day, I was like, they need to have inside jokes. Yeah. They need to have they already need to kind of fall into that rhythm, and but in terms of really it was once Eva and then and Jesse and Paulina and everybody just started to come together, the chemistry was just on fire, and it really was just a matter of just making sure to set them up and capturing it, and I think that's what we captured in the movie. There's just so much fun and so much laughter and so much joy that I think that energy we had on set is, I think, what's coming across on the screen.
Yeah. But also, like, we were a family already before we started shooting because, you know,
true.
I had worked with Paulina, I worked with Linda, who, you know, worked on Hentified with Marvin. I directed Jesse in my film, and then he was my husband. So we arrived, we were like, ah! Like, we were all glued. And then, like, you know, the last piece was Cheech.
Yeah.
And so we were all like waiting to see, like, who's gonna be the grandpa? And when it was Cheech, we all were like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, and he just came in and, you know, we're like, yep, family.
That's incredible. And when I also want to talk to wrap up about physical comedy, because you have a lot of physical comedy in this movie. There's so many gags and fun moments like that. What was your experience, well, especially you guys, Eva and Paulina, you know, working with physical comedy and the biggest challenges in that sense?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know this was an action film. I pulled my I pulled my quad one day.
Oh my God.
I almost drowned in the water. But no, I love big physical set pieces and I love physical comedy. So for me, it's like, that's like my wheelhouse. That's what I love the most, and we don't always get the opportunity to do it. And so to be able to like have a director who's like, go bigger, more, all out, do it. We're like, yay! It was free.
Marvin really told us to just go for it, to not be afraid, and so we did. We would do. I mean, you have so much footage that you didn't even use. We shot so much, and it was just so easy and so fun to work with these people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Looney Tunes take. Usually it's like, once I got it, I'm like, okay, Looney Tunes, go nuts.
And well, finally, I really like that, well, your character, Eva, she wants to reconnect with the roots, and that's kind of like the main goal of the road trip, like reconnect, which for me is very important. I think it's really special. And I wanted to ask you three about what you think is so important to actually be so focused on, well, you know, reconnect with the roots, know where you come from, so on.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're all Mexican Americans. Everybody, actually.
Right.
I mean, most of us in the movie. And we always straddle the hyphen of being Mexican and American at the same time. And so we have such strong ties to our Mexican culture. But when we're in Mexico, we're American. And then when we're in the United States, we're Mexican. So we're 100% of both at the same time. And so for Val to go, I want us to reconnect with our roots, that's a real thing. Like, somos mexicanos de corazón. And whether we've lived here or not, we carry that bandera with us always. You know, we're always carrying the flag of Mexico. And so for me, I was so proud that was like threaded through the movie. It didn't hit you over the head, but it was like threaded through in a beautiful way.
Sí. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Felicitaciones de vuelta por la película.
Gracias.
Y espero verlos en otro junket.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Chao, nos vemos.